Welcome again. Recall in our last class, we did define public relation in extension. We went further to also look at the aims of public relations in extension. Still not far from our previous discussion. Today, we want to look at the practice and functional areas of public relations in extension service. We want to look at the extension supervisor as a public relation coordinator. And then finally, we'll look at the plan for organizing public relations efforts. So we're going to start with the practice and functional areas of public relations in extension services. The first part of what we're going to discuss now, we just want to list functional areas of public relations in extension. The functional areas will include corporate stroke organizational communication, organizational image and reputation management, employee relations. Of course, here we are discussing how workers relate among themselves, attitude and opinion management, both among workers and then among those that receive satisfaction by virtue of the services provided by the organization. Community relations, media relations, donor stroke investor relations, and then the last but not the least, issues and crisis management. Whenever there is crisis within an organization, either within the organization or outside the organization, it's also part of the public relations to make sure that they handle the issue on their own in such a manner that the whole system is not crumbled. Now, the areas where public relation practice would specifically be necessary will include everything that is directed towards improving communication between people or organizations, everything that is calculated to improve mutual understanding between an organization and all with whom it comes into contact, both within and outside the organization, advice on the presentation of the public image of the organization. Public relation practice will also include action to discover and eliminate sources of misunderstanding. Furthermore, public relations will also include actions that seek to broaden the sphere of influence of an organization by appropriate publicity, advertising, exhibitions, films, etc. What public relations does in general is basically to take positive steps in arousing and maintaining goodwill and public interest in the activities of an organization. It is of practical applications also as PR tries to eliminate customs and practices which might offend public opinion or disturb mutual understanding. The area of public relation is very sensitive to public perception, public opinion. It counts so much. So PR is usually internally approach to encourage staff and employee of the organization to identify their own interests with those of the management. At any point when the interest of the members of staff aligns appropriately with that of the management, you can be very sure that tension will be reduced to the barest minimum. Let's now discuss the extension supervisor as a PR coordinator. As a supervisor in extension or as a manager, you have this threefold function in performing public relation activities. Please note these threefold functions. One, ascertaining and evaluating public opinion with regard to the organization. Two, discussing the other appropriate personnel, discussing with other appropriate personnel on ways of dealing with public opinions. And then thirdly, it's expected that the extension supervisor as a PR coordinator should use communication to influence public opinion in favor of the organization. The public essentials to an extension organization majorly include the farmers and their families. That is where we target as extension PR managers. Our central target is the farmer and the farm families. In targeting them, we may possibly have need to interface with large agro producers, with workers, with legislators, with policymakers, associations, media houses and their personnel, state and local governments, farmers, both male and female groups, civil servants, retired individuals, religious groups, and labor organizations. We may at one point or the other have need to, you know, have contact with these individuals while we pursue the well-being of the farmer. Now, for this session, the last part of it is the plan for organizing the PR effort. A plan of approach needed to win the consent of the public to support the achievement of the goals of the extension organization must be carefully engineered and designed by the PR unit. We're going to list 8 point plan for organizing public relation efforts. These 8 point plans will include to determine the target audience and objectives. That is to ask yourself what publics are we going to reach out to? And then what objectives are we planning to attain? The target will include policy making individuals and groups in the community. That is one. Two, another part of this plan must look at conducting a research. In conducting a research, we are trying to determine the opinion or knowledge of the publics about the organization's goals. Of course, part of carrying out a research will involve the collection of data on the current situation and then determine opportunities and threats to achieve organizational goals. Then, thirdly, part of the plan for organizing PR effort will include revisiting objectives. A reorientation of the objectives may establish the need to change them in view of new or emerging issues. Objectives must be specific, measurable, attainable, and goal oriented. The fourth one is team determination, based team on the present needs or interests of the public. The team of public relations must address felt needs, nothing but felt needs. It's only at that point when the team of public relations has successfully addressed felt needs that you see farmers, you see clientele flowing along with clear understanding. Then select the right strategy. Everything will not be good. Everything will not be good. Very, very important. Everything will not be good. So, what would be the best strategy? What would be the best approach to realize the targets you are pursuing? Then, sixth, good organization. You must work within the operational plan that is already set up. Examine the work to be done and not the personal gains. Assign the personnel for each activity in the plan. The seventh one is you must make sure that you plan in an orderly manner. Activities should be mapped out. There is need to carefully budget for time and money cost. And then the last but not the least, use tactics. Actual techniques and media to adopt should be selected. If you do these 8 things, you clearly have a good plan for your PR effort. Thank you again. Please read this over and over again. Listen to this particular aspect over and over again because it's the nitty gritty of PR in extension organization.